Traders, welcome back to the channel. Let's do a very quick update on AMC. Let's see exactly how we're doing on the positions at close. From this morning, you can see that I'm sitting at 32,000 roughly. I added some oil positions as well, but that's kind of besides the point. That's not really too big of the portfolio at all, considering things right now. So total, we're up about 270% on those plays. Actually, a little bit more. The math has kind of skewed on E-Trade, but we're up overall comparison to this morning, which I believe we're at like 19,000. I want to go over the push down we had at the end of the day, why I do believe we're still bullish, why I like where we're at, why I do think there is momentum kicking in, and the huge news that was announced today, because there was a lot of news announced that pushed AMC up to the levels it was pushed to. So like, subscribe, do what you got to do. Let's get to it. So this is really the only news that really affect AMC today, in my opinion. This is the news that the 43 million shares that AMC had at offering were all sold at market price. They're officially all off the table. There's no more dilution available for AMC. So this does lead us back to the theory that yes, those shares that were becoming available were primarily from AMC. Now, it's possible BlackRock was buying those and then lending them right back out, but we're going to get to that here in a second as well. Coming over to Fintel, I do want to look at this. You can see that we have 0 shares available now, and the fee is giving us an NA rating. We were sitting at about 75% bar rate. Ortex has us above like 120, 140, I believe. But I typically stay with Fintel's data, just so you know. Now, some people don't like Fintel, but it is what it is. I believe you'll get your point across either way. So I want to point out that since AMC announced that, they have not posted any more available shares. So it's looking like there's no more shares available to short based on the data that we're getting right now. This seems very bullish, in fact, and now there's no more dilution that anyone can really worry about. Now, we were kind of on the edge of the fence saying, was it bad that Adam Aaron was selling those shares? But now we know, now there's no bad news that can surround or hover around this. This is pretty good. And we did kind of cover this earlier this morning, but now we got confirmation on what was given out. Okay, so where I want to spend a bulk of the video is here on the chart. Now, as you can see, we had that nasty push back to the downside throughout the end of the day, roughly. And then we actually held the VWAP line. Now, I want to go over a few things here specifically. This is the 5-minute chart. It's not the most respectable chart, but I do love the 5-minute if you follow me. It does do some pretty good intraday trading stuff. So if we look at the OBV, you can actually see we're getting that breakdown, which doesn't look that great, but this is, like I said, only the 5-minute chart. So I would love to see us hold that going into tomorrow's open. This doesn't take into account the after hours, so we can see crazy movement on the after hours. It's not that important to me, but what I do want to do is zoom out to about the 4-hour chart. Okay, so this is the 4-hour chart, and this is the OBV, and this is one of the main factors that has me looking at everything and why I believe we still haven't had that massive breakout. Now, we did have a big push near the middle of the day. I will say that it was a pretty nasty push to the upside. You finally got that kind of parabolic movement, but we haven't seen one of these big legs just yet. I mean, you can clearly see the massive legs we had before down here. They're much larger. We're just seeing these small baby legs, if you will, whatever you want to call them. We haven't had these crazy pushes yet, but I believe once we get above this range, if we can, things are going to start looking incredible, and we'll see movement that we haven't quite seen in some time on AMC. Now, let's go to the chart and look at the actual candlesticks and see what's going on here. Now, this is something I pointed out earlier on the live stream. Some people have been asking about live stream. I'll occasionally do it. I don't really have a schedule for that. It's just if I'm in the mood. So coming here, what I do want to highlight is we've kind of been pinching in this channel for some time since, the beginning of February, and this has been this kind of trend we're following. Now, everyone anticipated we had this breakdown here, but it was like a false breakdown, and we had a double bottom in that bottom range, and now we're popping back to the upside. All in all, this looks like it's setting up for a pretty nasty move to the upside. It looks really incredible, and I do love the movement and the momentum kicked behind this as well. Now, in the after hours, you can see we're at 12.3, but we're still well above this range, moving back to the upside. Tomorrow's going to be a pretty big day. However, like I said, this isn't going to necessarily be a one-day movement. I think it's going to take some time. It's worth mentioning and going back to GameStop that we held at 35. We turned it sideways, got another push, and then we got a massive push. Now, who knows where AMC's $35 level is, like GameStop's? Who knows where we start getting that sideways movement? I can't give you those exact answers, but looking at the chart right now, I still feel good. I still like my positions. We're still up a lot on the positions as well. I don't think there's time to panic. I have time on the options as well. The weeklies are already closed out. So if you're in weeklies, do what you got to do. I'm not telling you when to sell. I'm not telling you when to buy. I like what I'm seeing here. It looks phenomenal, and I'm not concerned going into tomorrow either. It's looking like the good news is flowing in. We have AMC trending all over Twitter, social media. It's on CNBC. Everyone is now talking about it. The hype is getting back in there. No one's talking about Doge. AMC seems like the focal point of everyone's attention right now. So if we get another great day of volume going into tomorrow, I do believe AMC starts to get some pretty crazy movement to the upside. One thing I did miss out on today, and kind of I got totally wrong this morning. I suspected an 80 to 90 million volume day. We pushed to 290 million on the volume. I don't believe we're done. I think this is setting up for another massive day tomorrow and potentially going into next week. Closing out on AMC, what I would say is don't freak out and don't overthink the after hours movement. We have seen pretty volatile moves. You saw a push down to 1220 and then a bounce all the way back up to 1280 already, and now we're sitting back at 1240. So I wouldn't spend your night watching the after hours. Pre-market could be kind of big. However, I'm not concerned until the market actually starts opening. That's when it's going to get important because we're trading options anyways. But I do like what we're seeing. I think everything is setting up for the bullish case for AMC. I don't think there's any negative surrounding AMC at this moment. I'm excited for everything going on. I can't put it any other way. I tried to say that this morning as well. It's a pretty serious video. I'm not really too joking right now, but I love what I'm seeing. Absolutely exhausted, extremely long day. I couldn't be happier with the overall movement, the news that was announced. This was the best possible news that we could have got from AMC, that there's no more possible dilution. Everything looks great. We have the share count coming in June. So overall, extremely happy, extremely satisfied with the day. Tomorrow looks to be just as big, if not bigger. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like and subscribe. Namaste.